Hey guys, it's Jensen, and today I'm going to be talking about the books I want to read in July. I've never really done a TBR before. My reading is usually determined by what's due next at the library or just what I feel like reading at the moment. I'm very much a mood reader, but I really wanted to start doing a TBR because I wanted to use categories to help me knock off books on my bookshelves, whether, it's books that I've had on my TBR for a really long time or new releases that I will usually just put off because of the delayed gratification, but I really do want to read them right now. So I'm hoping that will help me to encourage me to read the books that are on my bookshelves and also help me in my reading goals, like reading more classics and reading more diversely. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I have picked to read for July. The first category is books that have been on my TBR for more than 2 years. I'm going to try to pick 3 books each month that have been on my TBR for a really long time, and I'm finally going to pick them up and read them. So the first one is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine? I don't know. But this has been on my TBR. Honestly, not this edition, but this book itself has been on my TBR since I think high school or maybe even middle school. It's been on my TBR for a really long time. I just bought this book a couple years ago, but I think it's set during World War II, and it's about a spy, and she's been arrested by the Gestapo, and I think they're going to try to torture her to tell the truth. So, I've heard really good things about this book. I've heard that it's really well written, well researched, and so I'm curious to read it. It's been on my TBR for a really long time, and I've always heard amazing things, so I am excited to pick this one up. The next book is also one that has been on my TBR for a really long time. This edition, in fact, I think I got it in my first year of college, so quite a few years ago. It's called The Midwife by Jennifer Worth. If you haven't seen the TV show or heard of it, this is a memoir written by a midwife, and she was a midwife after World War I, and it's just sort of her experiences working as a midwife. And I really love the show, and I really always wanted to pick up the book, and so this is my chance. I'm excited. And finally, for the books that have been on my TBR the longest, The Royal We by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan. I talked about this one in my books I want to read this summer. I'm excited to read it because I love the cover. I love royalty. I love stories about royalty. I love Kate Middleton and Prince William, and I know that this book is inspired by their love story, so I can't wait to read this one. I think it's going to be so cute and a light, fun read, and will hopefully be just what I need to read this summer. So now I have a couple of new releases. The first one is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've talked about this one quite a few times. If you don't know what this one's about, there's a link in the description and you can find out more, but I want to pick this one up soon. I just want to get this in before the summer is over and have that nice, fun beach read. So, yeah. And also, I also talked about this one in my summer TBR. This is Lovely War by Julie Berry. And since I've only talked about this once, I'll say again, this book, it follows 4 different lovers during World War I and World War II, I guess, and it's told by the Greek gods when Aphrodite is challenged to prove that love exists or show what love is like in modern days. And so this sounds really interesting. I love the inclusion of the Greek gods. It sounds pretty unlikely, but also interesting. So I'm hoping that this will be well researched because it's set in World War I and World War II, but I'm also hoping that will be sweeping and romantic. I've also mentioned that I need to be better about reading more diversely. I want to read more books that are by or about Black, Indigenous or other people of color. And so I picked one book this month because I'm still reading The Color Purple, but the other book I picked is An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. I talked about this one already, but just briefly, this is about a couple who, in their marriage, they go through trials and tribulations when he is wrongfully incarcerated. So I am really hoping that this book will give me some new perspective on wrongful incarceration and help me understand that issue a little bit better. So I am excited to pick this one up. Now we have a couple of nonfiction. The first one is Lost Girls by Robert Kolker. I just picked this one up. It is a true crime story about some women that disappeared in Oak Beach. I don't know where that is, but I heard that this one has been turned into a Netflix movie. I am obsessed with true crime and true crime podcasts, so I wanted to pick this one up sooner than later. So I can't wait to dig into this one. And the other nonfiction is Close to Shore by Michael Capuzzo. I also talked about this one in my summer TBR. This sounds like the true story of Jaws. It's about a series of shark attacks in 1916 along the Jersey Shore. So it sounds really terrifying and fascinating, and I hope it will give me new insight on sharks and the way they interact with people on the beach, because I thought this sounded unlikely because I've always heard that sharks won't attack people unless they feel threatened or unless you're encroaching on their territory. So I'm curious if this will give new information on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to the beach anytime this summer, so it seems like a good time to read this. And finally, we have a couple classics. The first one is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have already read this one. I've read this one a few times, but I always feel like reading it during the summer, I guess because I read it for the first time during the summer. It's just got gorgeous writing, and I've been wanting to read something that's set in the 20s during the Jazz Age, so I thought this was a perfect time to pick this one up. It's pretty short, so hopefully I can get through it pretty quickly, and it won't, because I have a lot of books on my TBR this month, but yeah, hopefully it won't take me too long to read this. And yeah, I love it. I love this book. And the other one, maybe the longest one, is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I just watched the movie recently and I wanted to pick up the book. I have previously tried to read the book and I got pretty far, but I didn't finish it. And I thought this would be a perfect book to pick up during the summer because there's a lot of descriptions of the beach and the ocean, and I remember when I was reading it that I wanted to go to the beach, and this is a great story about revenge and treasure and betrayal and just all kinds of good stuff. So I don't know how the movie differs from the book because I haven't read it, but I do love the movie, and so I am hoping to love the book as well. So these are the books on my July TBR. That is 10 books total. It might be a bit excessive. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of these, but I am super excited. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you plan to read in July, and I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I'll see you next time. Bye.